May profits be upon you. How you doing? Live from Lions Den Effects, you are trading with RT Money. We're going to take a look at the currency futures, the FX futures. All right. And we're going to take a look at their individual strengths and weaknesses. Right. Let's first take a look at the RT Money Meter. The RT Money Meter tracks the rate of change of each individual FX futures. All right, FX future. All right, the individual currency future. All right, we track it over a period of 15 weeks. And I update this every week. And then I rank them, right? These percentage numbers here is the percentage of change from the last week. Now, what do we see? We see some changes in the rankings. The US dollar has been number one for months, and it has slipped to number 2 this week. The Swiss is beating it out. Last week, the US dollar went from 521 to 247. That is a pretty significant drop. But is this a pullback? Is it just a retracement? A correction? To be followed by another impulse up, another bullish impulse? We'll see. All right, let's look at the Swiss. The Swiss is at 325. Last week it was at minus 0.44. That is a pretty significant push, right? Matter of fact, makes me want to look at where was it 2 weeks ago, and it went from minus. Okay, it was just a marginal change, basically neutral, and then it goes to 325. That's a pretty nice push up to the upside. Okay, let's look at the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar last week was ranked all the way at the bottom, number 8 at minus 587, shot all the way up to 0.22. You know, I want to get busy with New Zealand pairs. You got to play the strength on that, because that's quite a leap. All right. Let's go to CAD, ranked this week at number 5 at 0.46, but last week it was at minus 167. So it's kind of moving, bullish neutral, marginal change. All right. Number 6 is at the euro. Now the euro last week was ranked at number 6, minus 557. Ranked number 6 this week at minus 282, from minus 557 to minus 282. The euro is had a nice week. Okay, had a pretty strong week. All right, the yen, the perennial dog, devalued by the Bank of Japan. Minus 286. Last week it was at minus 467, minus 466. That is a nice push up. It is trending up as well. All right. This is a continuation from the prior weeks, because it was at minus 520, then it went to minus 466, and now it's at minus 286, right? And the pound is the weakest of them all. Last week at minus 584, this week at minus 358. Now, I want to put the weak against the strong, but this ranking can be a little bit confusing, because some are getting stronger but ranked lower. All right. And what I want to do, and if I can illustrate it real quick, what I want to do is can I get an annotation? Thank you. What I want to do is put the top ones against the bottom ones, right? But I want to catch a top one that's moving up, has momentum getting stronger, right? Momentum towards the upside. And I want to put it against one that has momentum going down the other way. And the only one that's doing that is the pound. Everybody else got stronger. Everybody. Some were more nominal than others, but others were very dramatic, very significant. So, this is why I take the time to look at the individual currency futures. Okay. Now let's move this to the side. And the first one we're going to look at is the strongest one. The rank number one, anyway, is the Swiss franc. The Swiss franc. Now, I want you to see something. One, the cotton report that came out on the 9th, all right, today, all right. But this tells you what the report was on Tuesday. It's released to us on the 9th, but this will tell you what the report was as of Tuesday, right? And I mean, on the 9th, but we get it on Friday. I'm sorry, it gets released on the 12th, but this is what they did on the 9th. And they are 68% short in this market, in this currency, 68% short. They added 465, only 465 longs, but they took profit on 3,061 shorts. They closed those. So the prior weeks they were adding shorts, and now, you know, you can see them here at 1,577 and 2,041. They were adding shorts, and then they closed shorts this week, 3,000 of them. So taking profits on shorts and continuing to add small amounts of longs. All right. So what do we see here on this chart? If we look to the weekly, we can see that this past week closed strong and bullish. All right. Yeah, we got a little rejection going on here. Why? Because we ran into a weekly zone of supply, but the momentum is definitely to the upside. Also, we are trading above this significant, what I call a major breakout level. When it broke down here, this was pretty significant, because this was a zone of demand. All right. And what do I wait for? I wait for zones of demand to fail, and I wait where the supply that was responsible for breaking that demand, I wait here for shorts, and we are rejecting from that area now. So what am I expecting with the Swiss? All right, I'm expecting maybe some pullback, maybe some weakness in the beginning of the week. All right, towards the middle of the week, I'm expecting price to come back and maybe test out this breakout level and then go back up. All right, just a short-term pullback and then back up. We have these wicks here of rejection. This area is probably going to get retested and go up. Okay, I can't get rid of this. Why? There's no reason for that. Why does it do this? That's not what I wanted for Christmas. God dug it. All right, I got to do it manually. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing it. I really don't. But I got to be careful when I do it, because I don't want to erase all my my markups. So I'll make sure I don't do this again. All right. So if we go down to the daily, we can see it clearly. We're making higher highs and higher lows, but we are still within this. You almost got me. We are still within this this high and this low. This is the actual higher time frame trading range, and this is internal highs and lows being made here. And I'm just looking at this as a correction, and I'm looking at price quite possibly rolling over here. All right, at least for the week. I believe we'll probably close bearish on the week with the Swiss franc. All right, so let's go to the next one. Do we have any news? No, there's no Swiss news next week. All right. This week, this one is the US dollar index. We have FOMC on August 17th. Be ready and prepared for that. That's going to be high impact news. All right. The COT report for the 9th, we are 85% long. The banks are 85% long. They've added 2,820 long positions, and they've also added 3,530 short positions. Okay, they're adding positions. All right. What do we see here? What is obvious is price is in correction after this impulse. You see how long it took to make it from here to there? Now look how long it took for price to correct that move. All right, when we are in demand, I'm looking for price to quite possibly see some bounce, see some bounce back this week. Yeah, I am. We are still in a strong bullish market. All right. If we see price break this low at 104.54, 104.54, if we see like price break this low, break the low of this zone, okay, then I'm looking for price to have a deeper pullback. If it breaks this, then we have reversed. All right, but that's a good ways away. All right, that's a good. I just did it again. Doggone it. Ah, I just did it again. All right, hold on a second here. Give me that. All right. I said I wasn't going to do it again, and I fooled myself into doing it again. So let me move this over here, and hopefully we don't get any more problems. Okay. Now, so I'm expecting price to get show a little bit of strength. All right. In the USD. So I'm definitely going to be looking at USD and Swiss franc longs. All right. I want to long those currencies. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. This would be the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar. All right. You can see that price is in a downtrend, right? We broke structure here, pulled back, came down lower, made a lower low, and then we broke that lower high. So we are bullish. We are bullish, and this is strong. You see this rejection from this supply? I'm keeping my eye on that because if I can get, I can't do it again. All right. What I want to do is look for price to at least push up into the middle of this zone. So I am looking for New Zealand strength plays. I want to long New Zealand this coming week against weaker currency. Got it? All right. Showing strength is broke structure to the upside. So I am bullish in this with the New Zealand dollar. Let's go to the next one. Okay. And the next one is Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. Now remember, Aussie dollar went from minus 457 to 0.62. We went from very weak to neutral. It's swinging up. All right. If we take a look on the weekly, we can see that we are making lower lows. This wasn't a lower high, actually. Price jumped up there, but we didn't break the zone, the supply that was here. We did. You're looking at this this wick high, but I'm looking at the close of that wick high. It didn't break that high. That it didn't close above this. All right, it didn't close above this. It just came up and took the liquidity from from these relative equal highs, and then closed below this zone. So this zone, in my view, of course, my view, it held. All right, and the supply resulted in breaking structure to the downside, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. All right, lower low, lower high, lower low. And that's what we want to see. Now we're in this from this low to this high is the trading range, and we are at the point where I would be looking for a lower high to form. And it just so happens that we have supply here, and we are tapping that weekly supply. I have it refined to the daily supply, but this is the weekly supply here, and we're just about to tap into it. Let me see. Yeah, this is very, very close indeed. All right, now that's on the weekly. What am I expecting? I'm expecting price to react to this weekly zone of supply. I'm looking for price to kind of I'm prepared for price to maybe show a little weakness for the first couple of days of the week next week. We had a very bullish week. All right, and I'm looking for that strength to remain, but this is an impulse, and with every impulse there's a correction, right? So I will be looking for that correction. We have inefficient price movement here and an imbalance here. So if once price hits this zone, I'm looking for it to give a little pullback. That might happen after the minutes come in. It might just continue higher, depending on the how the what they do with the interest rate, because they got interest rate stuff to discuss. All right, and they need to they're probably going to hike it, so that would add strength to this market, and we'll see it. I have some interesting plays that I think the Aussie will work well against the weaker currencies like the pound, but we'll get to it. But let's move on to the next currency. But wait, on the COT report, it says that the banks are 76% short as of the 9th of August. They closed 5,191 long positions. They closed 3,553 short positions. All right. What were they doing prior to that? A little closing a few hundred long positions, adding a few hundred long positions, and then closing a bunch of long positions, closing. They're just taking profit. All right. They were adding thousands of short positions, but then they closed 3,500 short positions. So with that in mind, and that's 76% short, I'm looking at maybe we're going to see a bearish reaction to this supply zone. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, and that would be the Canadian dollar. All right, look at the Canadian dollar. I want you to see it on the weekly. All right, you can see this was a bearish market. It's not like sharp bearish, but this is a corrective structure, but it's still making lower lows and lower highs. When we have this high, from this high to this low to that lower high to that lower low. All right, that's the weekly. We had a very nice week, but it's been kind of sideways. It's been neutral. This isn't one I'm going to, the Canadian dollar isn't one I'm going to do a lot with until after their CPI data comes in on the 16th. All right, the 16th CPI, all right, for Canada. And we'll see how that affects the market with a high number or a higher than expected or a lower than expected number. Okay, but for the most part, I'm not looking at CAD pairs. And let's move on. Okay, the next one will be the euro. The euro is a very bearish market. All right. If we look at it on the weekly, we can see the lower lows and lower highs breaking structure to the downside. And we kind of have this drifty kind of correction there, right? let's go to the daily. And what we can see is, one, we have GDP information, data getting ready to come out on the 17th. On the 17th. So you want to be ready and waiting for that, right? We see the breakup structure to the downside and this sideways price. This is just not good price action. All right. It's just consolidation. We finally get a break to the upside. And you have to know that after a lower low, lower high, lower low, what are you expecting? A lower high. And where would you be expecting that? I would be expecting it somewhere around here. All right. And it just so happens that we have a supply zone right there. Now, should you see how price moved up and then came back? Why come back? Because it's testing the tops, all right, of what was resistance, now support. Okay, if we look at that on a lower time frame, we will see the supply, the demand zone that is supporting price right here. All right, I'm looking for price to come back from this point and make a deeper retracement, and then we'll probably see some rounding off. Now, it could very well look, start to do it here, and that would be fine with me. But it doesn't matter. I'm watching this price action. I'm looking at the fact that we had a break out to the upside, a close and a break above these highs. All right, and then we're coming back to retest this structure. All right, I want to see if we're going to get bullish price action here, and we'll be able to get some lift. Okay, just remember the news on the 17th. COT report says that the banks are half and half, 54%, 50-50 really. But the majority is leaning short, but they are adding 8,396 long positions. They're adding that, and they also adding 4,121 short positions. All right, so this doesn't, I don't find that information helpful, but there is room for price to come higher. There is room for price to come higher, and I will be looking at euro pairs for weak positions, because I would put it against the very strongest pairs like Euro Swiss. I would be looking to short that, or Euro USD, or Euro NZD, Euro Aussie. I would be looking to short those pairs, considering the weakness in euro. Maybe we get some drift up. Maybe we get this. We get to see if price bounces from here. Maybe it's going to be an interesting watch, because after all of this, if we come back into here, it's not just going to just run through the floor. It's probably going to do some more sideways action. And I'm not looking forward to that, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Now, let's go on to the next pair. And that would be, and that's the currency. That would be Japanese yen. Japanese yen. Just take a look. Just take a look. All right. You see, we had this lower high here. All right. We made a lower low, lower high. We got this price action here. This is a nice pullback, so I'm going to call that a lower low. And this leg of action here, this is just one leg for me, and that's the lower low. And then we come up. We did not get a break and close above this high, which is the top of a zone of supply. We did spike through it to get to grab liquidity, but this is impulsive and this is corrective. And then you see price bounce up from here 3 days ago. All right, on Wednesday we got that news, remember? All right, so you know, we got what was that number? It was why can't I remember what number it was? Was it wasn't FMOC FOMC? That's this week. It was NFP, all right? And you know, we're gonna see a little we see a little pullback here, but we are still within this zone of supply. I think we took most of the most, if not all, of the sell orders out of here. All right, I'm thinking that price is just going to let me get something to write with. I'm thinking that price. Hello, I'm thinking that price is just ready to do something like this. All right, I don't think we're going back down yet. We'll watch this lane. See this color there, this that line, that is a major breakout level. And if we look over to the left, if we go to the weekly, you can see this is a very bearish market, right? Here's the major breakout, and this is an old low, man, from 2002, and we were trading below that, and now we are back above it. We came back to test that major breakout level, and we responded bullishly to it. And I think we're going to see some filling in of that wick. So I'm looking for strength plays with the yen as well. Okay, so I'm thinking pound yen. I just bearing in mind there is some bullishness in this, and I want to put it against something that's moving towards. So pound yen, I think, is going to be a pretty strong player, a pretty strong play this upcoming week. Yeah. So we'll I'll take a look at it for sure. And the last of the currency futures that we're going to look at is the British pound, right? The sterling, right? And you can see that it's lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we just made this lower low down here. We broke internal structure here, substructure. All right, but we are still within, and we have this, we're still within this trading range, all right, with a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. Is this our lower high? It certainly seems to be, because we respected the retest, all right? There is supply here, and we are respecting it thus far. So maybe we come back and test the low of this, the previous candle, and then continue down lower. That's what I'm thinking. This is going to be an interesting week. I'm looking for a lot of pound plays. Pound, I like the short pound Swiss, pound US dollar, pound in New Zealand dollar, pound yen, pound Aussie. It's weak, and it's getting weaker. So that's why I like this one. However, just remember, on August 17th, we got consumer price index. We got CPI data coming out for the pound. All right, that's going to be high impact news. All right, we've gone through all of them. All right, I didn't go with the COT report. The COT report, 65% short. All right, I got the wrong date on that thing. It should read the 9th. Okay, all right, and they've added 12,914. They've added longs on Tuesday. Okay, on this past Tuesday, and they closed 9,027 shorts. The big boys are 65% short and adding longs, big numbers of short longs. That's interesting to me. It makes you look at this one and go, So as price, if that influences you, You know, I'm a technical guy, and I like to look at the structure. And as price pushes up and corrects and fails to make a new high, and we are in supply, I'm looking at price to continue lower. That's what I'm doing. That's what I think. And we have a little rejection going on here. So I'm not looking at a very strong pound. Okay. And if the CPI data comes in the way I think it's going to come in, probably going to see some more weakness. All right. That's it. We've been yabbing long enough. You can take a screenshot of the RT money meter and take a look at these things, but it's important to see the individual currencies and see how strong they are. Look, are they at a point where they're about to turn around? You know what I'm saying? Are they just pulling back and they're in a strong uptrend, but the rankings say that they are weak because they were in retracement? You know, this is why you look at the futures, at the individual currency futures, right? I would appreciate it if you hit the like button for me. It helps the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate you subscribing to my channel so you can be notified of all the new videos. I'm going to have 5-minute videos of each individual, not each one, but the ones I've suggested in this video. I'm going to put some video out to do some analysis on it, and we can look for places of interest, POIs to plot, and look for the best places to make entries. Okay, guys, make sure you leave a comment. I want to hear what do you benefit from the individual currency looks? Do you benefit from the RT money meter? I need to get some kind of feedback from you on that, okay? So I can best be able to help you and not waste your time, you know, or enhance your learning experience, okay? I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.